A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadil Kabir, here for our usual political conversations that I hope will help our leaders make better policy decisions and informed political moves. These conversations, of course, are very simple, truthful, and biased with Herman Manyora, who puts them across in a hard-hitting way. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
I've seen that you submitted something to the bomber stocks. Something about imperial presidency, but you didn't appear. Are you going to appear?
You know, I asked. No, they have stopped. I asked somebody there to schedule me to appear. I kept waiting to be called, and when I asked yesterday, they told me, "Oh, I'm sorry, we have stopped." So I asked him, "What do you mean?" I've been waiting to appear.
I've seen down your submission.
I just submitted a written memorandum.
What is this about imperial presidency that you want? Isn't our system working the way it is?
No. You know, unless you go to the bottom of our problem, you never solve the problem. We are skirting around the problem, and the problem is about power. So you must face power head on. I offer a solution to the country, which even if they don't adapt now, I tried last time, BBI. I've tried now, and I'm sure they may not accept it. But in the fullness of time, that's where Kenyans will go.
You took the imperial presidency thing to the BBI forum?
Yes, it is there. Imperial president.
What is imperial president?
Because you must understand, why do you think somebody campaigns to be a prime minister and spends a lot of resources? Why does somebody campaign to be president of the United States of America, president of Kenya? Why does somebody want to be an MP, a senator, governor? There are two things about it. One, if you occupy that office of MP or senator or governor or president, whatever it is, you believe you can make a change. So you need the power, because unless you get power, you cannot implement certain changes and programs. So that 20, 30 years from now, people will be saying, when Manyora was president of Kenya, the legacy part of it.
Okay.
You want to change. You can see things are not working well. So you want to become MP of your area to improve things. That's one reason why you go for that seat of president of whatever seat. But there is another one which people don't want to see. The power and the glory. The power and
the glory. I am the president.
Yes. If you are in America, what are we talking about? Air Force One. And remember, they say where Air Force One lands is American territory. When Air Force One lands in Kenya, even your highest ranking police officer, even the IG cannot stop there. And of course on a Marine, we saw it. We saw it in Jomo Kenyatta. The Marines were chasing away Keraide.
Yes.
Keraide was then some big man in the police in charge of the airport. And of course were line as the end.
This is America.
Where America Air Force One lands, you're Ndege president. That is America. As it is landing, you can see those ugly looking Apache helicopters, ugly and powerful, giving the plane the cover. And when he lands down, there's that vehicle called the Beast. That's the glory. That's the power and the glory part of it. And somebody is walking behind you with a briefcase. You have the codes to the nuclear. You can blow off the world. That's the power somebody looks for. The power. Moshimiwa, Habari, driver. Yes. So I'm saying, let's create two centers of power. Let's create one person and give him all the glory he wants. Because at the end of the day, the president of the Republic of Kenya, from Jomo Kenyatta to William Ruto, spend 99.999% of their time pursuing that glory, not working. How many times have you seen Ruto in Harambee House, where he should be working? He's in State House, receiving delegations, Your Excellency, Mtukufu, and moving around the country, guard of honor, receiving ambassadors, talking to people from the big seat. So I'm saying, why don't we give one person that to enjoy? Make it even bigger than it is today. But then create another center of power, a prime minister. His work is to work for the people of Kenya, to run government, to appoint the serious ministers and run government. 100% of his time is running government. This other man give him power to enjoy, move in the villages, everywhere. Kama imperial president, kama king. Akipita mahali watu nasema basi.
Someone is probably thinking this is absolutely for the electorate to think about this person that they are going to elect. If you are electing President William Ruto to be president,
yes,
he should have at least some vision.
It has proved that it can't work. No president in this country has ever worked for the people. The president in this country has executed their function of head of state, never head of government. Have you seen any president being answerable to the people of Kenya? None. They don't know what's going on in government. So let's give them that power. And I'm saying we have regions, Majimbo. When the president is landing in your region, everything comes to a stop. And he has a state house in Kakamega. Not state lodge, state house. When we have elected our governor of the region, he's the one who will go there in an elaborate ceremony to swear in the governor. Mkubwa ameingia, anatandikiwa carpet kutoka hapa mpaka sijui wapi. Imperial president, like a king.
How do we get this person? Because in Kenya,
you will choose. If you want the power, you'll choose. Do I want to be a prime minister, or do I want to be the imperial president? Go for one.
Okay.
If you want to be imperial president, the people of Kenya will look at you and say, "Can this man be our king?" No. Bush, yes, they elect Bush.
Then tell me about how we get to that person, because we have term limit 5 years in Kenya.
No, we don't. That one there's no term limit. In fact, the longer he stays, the better. We can even have a tradition where anybody in his family, if he wants, and is elected, fine. Like the Hamas in Botswana. Yeah, no problem. That is glory. Anybody who fits in the light line. That's where people like Raila and the Kenyatas and Moise would have fit. The power and the glory.
But how do you become this mtukufu person in Kenya when Kenya is so divided, almost split into half? When you look at last year's elections, Raila versus Ruto, if you say you're going to have one person, how can he represent the whole nation if Kenya is divided into two?
That's now, once we agree with first of all, with the principle, the idea is the principle. Do we agree with that idea? That we need a powerful president but power of state, appointing ambassadors, receiving ambassadors, guard of honor, those things for him. And then you have another person whom he can't sack. He has no control over, who runs government. Like the British Prime Minister vis-a-vis the king. Once we agree with the idea, that this is a good idea, the rest we shall work out the details. How shall we arrive at these two? Will Kenyans be happy entrusting government to a man who is elected by just parliament? Or we can think a bit with that. Because prime ministers across the world are elected by parliament. The one who has more MPs becomes prime. Is that what is good for this country? If it is going to be good, are our constituencies representative enough? Or they were made in such a way that Kinamoi were tinkering with, gerrymandering with the formation. So will we need first to have fair representation? Those are the details now.
Okay.
Those are the details. Now, in terms of the president, how do we ensure it can't just be a Kikuyu or the big five? Is there something we can do? Can you even make them rotational? Those are things, the details. Yeah. But the principle is, do you agree with Manyora that we need a clear separation between the prime minister who works for government and the president who enjoys the power of being president, and we make it what he has times 10? Do we agree?
And then I would get back to the prime minister's position, because we elected people to be our leaders, presidents, Kibaki, Uhuru, Ruto. How is the guarantee that our prime minister will also work for government?
The beauty of a prime minister is that he's answerable to parliament. And parliament can send him home any time, any minute. And you have seen it where there are prime ministers. Governments change. Even the current prime minister of the UK was the third prime minister in 7 weeks, I think. 7 months or 7 weeks. Pop, pop, pop. You've seen in Israel, you've seen in India, you've seen in Italy. Wherever there are prime ministers, they can come and go like Mandazi.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you are held accountable by your colleagues, not the general public. The general public, there's a problem. The general public votes. Once the general public has voted, it goes to sleep until 5 years or 4 years, as the case may be. But your colleagues in parliament, they'll put you on your toes on a daily basis. You are answerable. You bring in GMOs, they say, This country said they don't want GMO. How are you tinkering, toying with the idea of GMOs in this country? Answer us. A consignment came here secretly of GMO food. You go home that evening. That afternoon, you are voted out of that seat. Yeah. So we need a prime minister who is answerable to parliament on behalf of the people of Kenya and who works for the people of Kenya under the supervision of parliament. And we need to have a president so that those who want the glory of being president can go for that seat, knowing very well they have nothing to do with government, but the glory.
When you look at the crop of leaders that we have, do any of them represent someone that can be the prime minister and work for this country? Because these are the same people that have been taking power since I was actually born.
You see, the moment you come up with a parliamentary system that has a prime minister, many things will change. Sometimes, like as it has happened in India, was it Singh? I think it was somebody called Singh, remember. A man who tried to win an election, I don't know, 5-6 times, and he couldn't. But his party can nominate him to be prime minister.
Okay.
You see, the beauty of a prime minister is you are not convincing the entire country. Convincing the entire country can be very difficult. That's why we end up with this kind of people we end up with. They know that the people are vulnerable. Mwananchi, the voter, is vulnerable. Is easily lied to. You sell promises, you sell anything to the voter and they agree. Unaenda tuna story za jaba na kila kina wanakupigia kura. But now when it comes to parliament, that's different. So parliament, a political party can pick a person who could never have won a seat maybe. Nominate him and make you prime minister. So when we are making our constitution, we shall say from among members of parliament elected and nominated. So that if a party feels Jared Kabiro is the best person to be the prime minister now that we have the numbers in parliament to form government, but Jared Kabiro could not win Embakasi seat, let us nominate him and make him prime minister. So you can now see.
So if you look at Azimio Umoja, you say give Raila the imperial presidency,
yes,
and then Martha Karua
can be the prime minister. Now, but before you reach there, Raila Odinga will not be a member of any political party. For you to be president, we don't want you to be a member of any political party. You can be whispering quietly, but you are not a member of a political party. Because political parties are formed with the intention of getting state power to run government. Because a political party has a program, has a manifesto. The president does not have a manifesto. The manifesto belongs to a political party. So the president, since he's not going to run government, does not need a political party, does not need a manifesto. He just needs to be a good guy looking nice. And you say, this guy can be our president. We just look at this guy, he's a nice guy, he can be our president. We can give him all these powers.
Now that you took your submission to Boma Stocks, you said Boma Stocks will not go anywhere. Why did you take your submissions there? Kalonzo said it was few.
If I had gone to there, my opening remarks would have been, I'm bringing this to you, but I have no confidence in you. Even the preamble to an article I was writing to the newspapers says as much. I do not believe in Boma. Nadiko, this is not Boma's thing. But I'm only giving you because I'm sure at some point this small seed will germinate and there will be a national conversation. When that time comes, we will not be starting from nowhere. We will be starting from some of the issues people have raised. Okay. So that we can now invite new ones. But others will already be there. Let mine be among those that will already be there when we start a national conversation. And that's why I was taking mine.
I was telling you about Kalonzo Musyoka as we were wrapping up. Yesterday, furious at Hassan Omar. Hassan Omar telling him, you'll never be president. Kalonzo Musyoka telling him, you'll never be governor. These talks, is this what you assumed from these talks? That's why you told Kalonzo to run away? Is this what
you reduce yourself. You know, if you are Kalonzo Musyoka and you are sitting there and Cecil Mbarire is talking the way she's talking, and you have reduced yourself to a level because she can be, I think one of these sessions, this yesterday she was the chair. Yes. And that's now you with Cecil Mbarire. I told Kalonzo Musyoka, you are reducing yourself to this level. Kenakimani Shunga, Kinopio and I. You are up there. These Bomas talks have dented Kalonzo's image. The image of a serious national and international leader has been depleted. He's gone down in stature to the level of Kinasisi Mbarire, who can shout. Now, if you are saying that happened, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
It happened in the forum.
Yesterday.
Within Bomas.
In Bomas.
So I was right. Surely, why can't he buy me a cup of tea? That Manyora Kumbi, I wish I had listened to you. You cannot be Kalonzo Musyoka. What I wanted Kalonzo Musyoka to do is to ask himself, can Raila bring himself there? Yeah, that's what he should ask himself. Can Raila agree to be there? That's what he should have asked himself.
Because Raila would not agree to be there.
No. You know, I wanted Kalonzo Musyoka to know he's at the level of Raila and Ruto. But people don't listen to people who tell them the truth. I wanted Kalonzo to know he plays in the same league with Ruto and Raila, and not a Shungu and Upio and I and Cecil Mbarire. So if what you are saying happened, it
happened.
You cannot prove right the very last day, because it was the last day yesterday.
Yes.
So it means the last day proves Manyora right. That Kalonzo need not have been there. And politics image is everything. Image is everything. He has reduced his image. Now, when we are looking for leaders up there, our eyes don't see.
He will not be your imperial president.
No, now if we are looking even for leader of opposition, if this thing goes through, stupid as it is, we may now perhaps think of Mother Karua, not him.
Well, let's wrap up this conversation of imperial presidency, Bomas stocks, what Kenya needs, what we need, what we must fix now. Till we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.